Good night, Australia, from Gavin Wood. Catch you next week for another Power Packs Countdown right across Australia.
Rick Davies off target at Football Park. But at the Adelaide Oval, Grenville Dietrich spot on. And tough, the nature of the game at Glenelg. Good evening and welcome once again to League football action. We're now right on the halfway mark of the minor round for season 1985, and still North Adelaide has the perfect record. But the Roosters aside, the competition is one of the closest for many years, and the predictions, I must say from personal experience, continue to stray. Looking at the results then of round 11 today, and at Football Park, West defeated South by 46 points. At the Adelaide Oval, North Adelaide made it 11 straight, defeating Torrens easily by 68 points. At Brighton Road, in the upset of the round, Glenelg defeated Norwood by 20 points. At Unley, Sturt had to fight hard against lowly Port Adelaide, but they won by 23. And at Woodville, Central District defeated the home side by 31 points. Well, first tonight we're going to take a look at the Football Park match between two of the season's disappointing sides, South and West. It was a case of 10th against 8th, but certainly West, and since the arrival on the scene by Rick Davies, South also have promised better things than those positions would indicate. Well, South led by 17 points at quarter time. West then got back into the match in the second quarter to lead by 5 at half time, and we're going to pick up the match early in the third quarter. With me in commentary, Jerry Harrison.
Well, it's West Adelaide by 6 points. Miller getting up high. Borchardt forcing it through. Going to ground was Glyn Hewitt. Bennett works it out, but it's there to Martin, who has an airy. Woodhall off the ground, and the umpire rules kicking in danger. Well, we're seeing the second free kick paid a lot here as Philip Brooksby goes wide for Campbell. He's got Darryl Hewitt further afield, but he fires in looking for Schneebichler. Shaw spoils. Cantalaftis mops up, goes in short. Filkey. Good take. Hamilton. Driving direct and long, inside centre half forward. Miller using the body well, and beautiful mark. In command, Lockman appealing, but it was Woodhall, again, who used the body extremely well. And he has an opportunity now, with one goal already credited to his name, to put West Adelaide a little bit further ahead. Directly in front. Calm conditions. Woodhall kicks his second. West Adelaide to a 12-point lead. 7-11, South Adelaide 6-5.
West lead by 2 goals at the 6-minute mark of the third term. Now Miller about to send them forward again. A shocking kick. But Des Herbert over the top to Goodwin. Just on the ground. He goes over the top again and doesn't make the distance. Gee, it was there for the taking, but South come away. Up towards centre wing, Bennett for West Adelaide. On by hand, Grosser. He chips the ball over the top. Now faulting. In towards the fly from Miller. Just drifting across the front of the pack and pulling in a good mark. Miller just 30 metres out from goal, straight in front. A chance now to kick his first and extend the lead to 18 points. That's exactly what he's done. And the blood's looking much better now. The further the match goes, the better West look, and South in trouble. 8-11 to 6-5.
South Adelaide faltering in the early part of this third term as West Adelaide lead by 18 points. Shaw goes off the deck into the path of Bennett and then backing up Shaw, but Bennett comes clear. Gives it wide for Faulting. He's had a bit of the fumbles most of the day. Into the centre half forward spot. Filkey looking for the free kick, which didn't come. Knocked on by Borchardt, taken by Witt to David Kapler. And offhands it finishes with Bennett. Half forward right they go. Schneebichler's loose. He had the supporting run of Menzel. Now he drives into the lead of Harris. Davies up there with him. Harris gets up high. Play on is the call. Nailey working through. Oh, high tackle against Bennett. Two number 17s. Mark Nailey, who has been a prolific kick getter, goes in for Davies on the lead. And Davies, too alert for Andrews, has an opportunity now for goal number 4. Quite an acute angle, but distance not a problem. And no conditions to contend with. Calm as it could possibly be at Football Park. But Davies puts it through for a point for South Adelaide to trail by 17 points.
John Cantalaftis out short. Winter put down after he got his kick. So upfield it goes. Des Herbert towards half forward. The numbers there. Goodwin towards centre half forward. Almost a clash there. Martin coming down for South, but Des Herbert, in fact Carl Herbert, down towards full forward. Woodhall with the run of it. Slides down, then knocks it out. Lockman first to it for South. Now Bennett controlling the ball well for West, and he goes towards full forward. Miller again. Play on the call though. Goes out now to Menzel. Spills to Hewitt. Honor. Back it can go for Hewitt. Then up the centre wing where David Kapler waits for it. Towards half forward. Looking again for Harris. Shaw though to Cantalaftis. Out he goes wide. Bad fumble there by Rennie. Allows Nailey in. Nailey into the open goal square. Davies an easy mark. Oh dear. The $6 million fumble there from Rennie. A very, very costly fumble. He knows it. Davies has 3, 2 of which have been kicked from this distance, but the other 2 have gone through for goals.
Just when I needed you most. And Big Ron goes short for Cantalaftis. Trying to get some run into this West Adelaide side. Hamilton provides it into the centre wing area. Troy almost, but good body work by Carl Herbert. Into the space at centre half forward. And Woodhall sets and takes magnificently. Woodhall beginning to prove a bit of a problem up there. Lockman lacking the centimetres in height. And Woodhall with 2 goals already against his name. Goes long and direct. And through for 1 goal. Just carried through. And the 3rd goal to Woodhall puts West Adelaide 22 points clear. 10-11 to South Adelaide 6-7.
22 points in favour of West Adelaide. And South needing to do something quickly as Troy slams the ball forward for them, but Cantalaftis in the way. Umpire Kinnear decides there's a free kick down there to West Adelaide's Winter. The centre wing. Randall Bennett. Infield he goes. Kick from Micken. Down towards the square. Easy goal. It's looking so easy to skip a Borchardt on this occasion. And the further this match goes, the further West go ahead. They trailed by 17 points at quarter time, but then led by 5 at half time. And with goals like that from Borchardt, they've increased their lead to now 28 points, approaching the halfway mark of the 3rd term. West lead by 28 points. Now David Kapler couldn't quite mark it. Darryl Hewitt back towards Schneebichler, who'll fly. Micken trying to shepherd out and then trying to knock it out to Goodwin. Came off. Now Hamilton working his way clear towards centre wing. Grosser in the middle though. South Adelaide was through Hewitt. Picked up through Troy. McCann again couldn't mark, but he'll get the free kick. Against John Schneebichler. Right across the face of goal. He's found faulting. Into the middle to Bennett. Late on the scene was Honour. Out wide for Winter, who tries to knock on, but it goes only as far as Honour. Now Martin, wheeling onto that right boot. Towards Schneebichler, but at the back, the flyer there was Davies. Cross ground, David Kapler. Now he was off, but the umpire decided he'd give him the benefit of the doubt. 2 steps forward, 4 steps back. It was okay for David Kapler. From 35 metres. That's his second. And South peg one back, but they're well behind. Now 7 goals, 7, 49. West 10-11, 71.
The right forward pocket now for West Adelaide. Williams, who's playing at full forward, uses the body well, eyes the goals off. It's an unprotected goal square. Filkey dropping down from his centre wing, reading the play beautifully, and should goal from point-blank range. He has one, which he kicked in the second term. Opportunity for his second as he puts West Adelaide back to a 28-point lead. 11-11, South Adelaide 7-7.
Back in the middle as McCann gets it to Herbert. Half forward, the mark paid, as it should have been, to Borchard. The West captain. His return to the league side today in short. Woodhall couldn't pick it up. Now McCann can, though. Long towards full forward. David Kapler. Out wide. He's picked out a teammate there. Troy. High towards the middle. Derek Shaw's thump straight to McCann. Back to Shaw, who couldn't pick it up on the way through. Another chance for Schneebichler. As it goes to Witt. The knock-on favours Harris. He's at half forward. 50 metres out and drives long. Oh, good goal. A good kick from Darren Harris. And South needed that one and many more. South now 8 goals, 7, 55. West 11-11, 77.
Much more constructive football from South Adelaide. Working it out of defence. A nice tap over by Schneebichler and a better one further on for Harris. And then magnificent casual shepherding right on the line by Davies, showing his experience for a goal to Darren Harris. 20 minutes gone in this third term, and South are down by 22 points, struggling to get back into the game. Martin working through. Will get clear. Balances, puts it up towards the goal square. Davies versus Andrews, and Davies once more the victor. Well, he's proved a handful for Big Ron today. 3 goals, which just as easily could have been 5. He's missed 2 simple shots. He's on an acute angle. Bit of a breeze blowing up across his body from his right to left. But he has converted for goal number 4. The 9th for South Adelaide. They now trail by 16 points on 8 goals 7 to 9-7 in fact to West Adelaide 11-11.
Ron Andrews looking out there for Winter. Oh, good mark. Knocked out by Nailey, had one hand to it and then took it with both hands on the second attempt. The half back was punched away from Borchard. Now Herbert back to Winter. His kick high towards half back. Harris thumped away. Now Filkey for West Adelaide in towards the centre. It's found Hamilton. Quickly moves it on towards half forward. Miller dropping back. It was Woodhall coming out to meet it. But South Adelaide the chance to clear it away now through Campbell to Martin. Dashing up towards centre wing to Schneebichler. Left half forward. Oh, fumbled what he should have taken. Cantalaftis, the mopper. Out it goes to Rennie. And the mark taken on centre wing. Herbert. Now towards half forward. Bennett. Now Miller. And the lead and the mark accepted there from Woodhall. Good, clean work down the outer side there by West Adelaide, giving Woodhall the chance to kick his fourth. Not quite the distance, but the mark in the square for South Adelaide by Brooksby. Now, Lockman to Troy. Now, Nayley. Left half back. Up towards centre wing. Schneebichler with Shaw. Shaw at the back. Fist to it. Campbell trying to keep it in play to Shaw. And picked up for West Adelaide. Infield it goes. The kick towards centre half forward. Woodhall the target. Was thumped away from him. Herbert. Out wide, but Witt bursting his way through. An infringement, and Aaron Witt with the free kick.
Goes long, centre half forward spot. Searching for Schneebichler. Off hands Dewhurst, across for Harris. Good tackle, Filkey. Brilliant. West Adelaide, right clear, but the ball will be brought back for Filkey to take the kick. He goes wide. Rennie's out there with plenty of space to work in. Able to recover from the mistake and goes short, not well directed, straight to Nayley. Well, he had a brilliant game in the under-23s last week, but he can't get warm today as Nayley goes deep. Davies at the back of the pack. He has outwitted, outmaneuvered, outthought, out everything on Ron Andrews today. 4 goals. No angle to speak of. 45-metre kick. And the coach puts his 5th on the board and brings South to within 10 points. 26 minutes into this third term. 10-7, they trail West Adelaide 11-11. And Michael Lockman takes the kick in. Campbell has dropped loose into the pocket. He drives long up to the centre wing area. It's not a good kick, in fact, because Filkey's first there. He forces it back for Hamilton. Awkward-looking hand pass goes in, and Campbell has time to recover over to Darryl Hewitt. Hamilton interrupts the flow again. Cantalaftis. Filkey, space to work. Looking long. Goes long for Miller. Will be paid the mark. Used the body well in opposition there to Aaron Witt. A little bit more experience. Bodied him back, then took the dive forward, and has the opportunity now to kick goal number 2 and give West Adelaide a little breathing space. The 8-minute mark of this final term, and the kick from Miller is direct on line for his second. The 12th for West Adelaide. They move to an 11-point lead, 12-13 to South, 11-8.
11 points in favour of West Adelaide. It's 8.5 minutes into the last quarter as Troy sends South forward. All by himself there, Ron Andrews. And clears it back towards centre wing to Borchard. Witt spoils, though. Or rather, Troy getting the kick. Scrambling forward to Hewitt. On it goes now to Holt. His short pass almost intercepted there by Cantalaftis. Dewhurst. Back it goes to Campbell on the boundary line. Hooking it in towards Schneebichler. And Davies getting the crumbs. But Andrews breaking away. Campbell couldn't take it. Now Herbert hooking it back towards half back. Good mark. Top mark taken up there by Troy. In towards full forward. Andrews, second bite. Not paid, so hand passes it to Murrett, who knocks on. But Hewitt, Darryl Hewitt that was. And now Campbell. So after some desperate football on the both offensive and defensive parts respectively by the teams, Campbell settling things down, and from 40 metres out there near the boundary line in towards goal, but the easy West Adelaide mark taken by Micken in defence. Micken right in the goal square. In fact, barely enough room from Schneebichler to get the kick away. Out towards Honour and Murrett, the latter in best position and marks well. Murrett at right half back. The hand pass to Hamilton, who's under pressure as he gets his kick, but finds Herbert on centre wing. Des Herbert with the aid of a 15-metre penalty against the coach Davies. Kick still down towards half forward. Up high it was Miller, or rather Williams at the back. It's taken by Bennett, who can see the open goals and tries to bounce it through, and he's done just that. Bennett's got his second. A good goal too, because he saw that there was nothing really to kick for downfield, so he lined it up. And I guess he was relying on the accurate bounce. It did just that. It went through the vacant square, and that resulted in West's 13th goal. They're now 13-13, 91, South 11-8, 74.
West Adelaide by 17 points. 11 minutes into this final term as Troy sends South into the half-forward line. Holt knocked on magnificently, spills to Davies, open goal, and he puts number 6 on the board to bring South back to within 11 points and give them hope in this game. 12-8 South, trailing West Adelaide 13-13. South Adelaide refused to be shaken off. 12 minutes in, they are down by only 11 points now as Campbell tries to work it out. Interrupting the flow for West Adelaide was Muret, and the kick comes wide from Micken to find Miller, who drives into towards the goal square. Williams from behind. Oh, good mark. Got to the front position at the last moment as he outmaneuvered Lockman. Perhaps used the hand, but the umpire ruled it legal, and he got in front to put up those telescopic arms and take a telling mark for West Adelaide. Shifted from centre-half back to full forward in the third quarter. He posts his first goal now, giving West Adelaide breathing space. 17 points clear at the 13-minute mark, and still concern from the West Adelaide coaching box.
Yes, at that stage there was concern, but Cale needn't have shown concern because they ran away to win by 46 points. And I think John Cale would have been a little happier today with the desire shown by his players, particularly in the second half. Well, they trailed at quarter time, then built up momentum as the match progressed, leading by 5 points at half time, 9 at three-quarter time, then rounded it off by piling on 7 goals, 7 to just 2 goals in the final term. For West, Woodhall, Miller and Williams kicked 3 goals each, Filkey, Bennett and Grosser 2, and for South, Davies kicked 6, although he missed 4 relatively easy shots that Davies would normally have kicked with his eyes closed. David Kapler kicked 2 goals. Footy punt, $6.20. Well, for weeks now, football watchers have been saying that North Adelaide's run will come to an end. But each week, the top-of-the-ladder Roosters have proved the critics wrong, bringing up a record 10 wins straight going into today's match. Well, today the critics were at it again. Third-placed West Torrens, they said, would do the trick. And again, those critics were left with egg on their faces, as the Roosters led all day and they ended up bringing up 11 wins straight. Well, here's some action from halfway through the third quarter. Our commentators at the match, John Robinson and Dennis Airy.
Body power, the legs, steadied, beautifully done, goal! And North Adelaide seem to have all the answers. His second at the 15-minute mark, 16-9, Torrens 7-8.
A lot of hard work going on there. Bodies going in left, right and centre, but North managed to be the ones getting the first touch to the ball, pushing it forward. It finally came clear to Robertson, and he's got plenty of pace. He got around a couple of players there. It was well shepherded, lined up, steady, did everything right and kicked straight through the middle. And, well, the West Torrens camp there, Elliott and Pavlik, a bit worried. Saru put the foot out, has been penalised, and the free kick to Big Parsons. It's a half forward. It's Bennett direction. Oh, plenty of strength. Both Lindsay and Saru used the bodies against him. They fell to the wayside, and Bennett took a good strong mark. And gee, he is an effective centre half forward. 45 metres from goal. The kick is long, and the mark is taken by North Adelaide in the pack. That's McRedden. We've mentioned previously the value of these two big guys, Parsons and Redden. When they rest up forward, they have the ability to take these grabs and add to the North Adelaide tally. That's the first goal to Redden, and North Adelaide looking good. 17 goals 9, West Torrens 7 goals 8.
Yes, the big fellas across that line in Dietrich, Redden, Parsons, and the scraps that come off the hands from these big fellas eagerly swooped on by Darryl Hart and Antrobus, but the ball's coming in nicely to them. Always long. Antrobus drove the ball long. The big fella's there. Oh, bucket hands quickly grabbed that one, kicked his first, and North Adelaide have always had it against this side. 17-9, 7-8 Torrens. Let's watch Saru against Parsons. Really upsets him all the time against that bounce. Uses the body very strongly. Down goes Stretch. He doesn't have a chance to get rid of that, and we'll see another bounce. 31 is Saru. Nicking in there is Parsons. He's decided to go check side. Doesn't like the body coming at him, obviously, all the time, sometimes illegally. Here's the little fella in Meehan. Did well. Long to the goal face, but it isn't well directed. And it's Paul Arnold doing a comfortable job at fullback, almost error-free. Same as Stephen Riley. Has Tiller there, uses him. He'll go straight down the line. Hay, Parsons there, one hand, can't do it. Stretch can, the crumbs. Back to where it came from. The odds 2-1. Almost the mark, not paid, yes, says umpire Thorpe, and the halfback flank has done a good job today.
Stephen Riley. Short to brother John. Centre wing grandstand side. Leaders on from Bennett. He'll have the jump. He's in front of Lindsay. Lindsay effectively spoils. Geyer. Foot had the chance, but he was thrown to the ground without the ball. Will take the free kick at centre half back. West Torrens need to get things happening. Stretch in front. Misjudged it. Sanders missed it also. A big pile-up of players and a bounce down centre wing grandstand side.
Hit John Saunders like a big pie, and I think that he's got a bit of a problem there too with either cramp or a twist. It's John Cunningham now against Parsons. Parsons tried the steal, that wouldn't work. Little Meehan back to his ruckman, so rover to ruckman's unusual. And foot. Dillon not offering any support. Armfield offers opposition, so does Hill, and both of those players had a great game. Hill looks as if he's taken some youth pills. He's had tons of energy today. He's run a mile. Bennett. Lindsay. Bigger. Persistence. Won him. Bruce Lindsay are holding the ball.
Bruce Lindsay's got a hard task there on Peter Bennett today. He's been playing well down there.
Yes, conceding height, and he's really had to jump hard against Bennett all day. Roberts, mistake with the hands. In goes Hay. Down he goes. A new player that's arrived on the scene, carrying a new jumper, is 31, and we'll pick him up as Hay goes along with a nice-looking drop punt. Here's Bennett and Lindsay. Roundhouse right by Lindsay, puts it towards the line. Pays, had an excellent game so far today. Stretch, has to be quick. Running the wrong way, Roberts. Running the right way, Parsons.
Nice judgment by the big fella on the half-back line. 15-metre penalty. 31 for North Adelaide. Peter Simmons has come onto the ground. Bennett, no doubt the target for this Parsons kick. He's under it. Lindsay's behind again. Spoils effectively. Meehan. Good handball to Stretch. To his half-forward line. Dillon didn't reach him. Hay cut it out. And there was 4 North Adelaide players there against Kim Dillon. What chance did he have? Short to John Riley. No doubt Bennett the target once again, but the balls are coming in high. He's got the break on Lindsay again, and this time he takes it. Lindsay couldn't get close enough to spoil. Dietrich bolts out of full forward. The kick's in that direction. He's in front of Grabak, and he's taken it. Well, that was an amazing mark. Plenty of strength there. The big, strong body held Grabak away. He had a punch at the ball, but couldn't reach it. Mike Noonan probably happy about that one, but as Dietrich with strength has taken a great mark. He's kicked 7 goals. 4 of those came in a great second quarter. 35 metres from goal, the familiar drop punt kick. Just to the right of the big upright, so a bit of a blot on the copybook there, but 7 goals, not a bad effort.
Yes, 2 of those marks like that he took in the first term, and he's been good all day in that area. Saru. Dietrich unloading unceremoniously Anton Grabak. And the quick kick. Forward by Hart. Front spot, almost Bennett again. Not paid. Dillon, Lindsay. Grabak. Wide, no one in particular. Taylor, like a greyhound, charging at it. Couldn't get there. And it's out of bounds on the full. Kick in. Awkward looking kicking style. Drop punt. Almost Bennett again. This time, no, it's Parsons. Or is it Bennett? Bennett it is. He's really lifted his game at half forward. Where's the big fella? Front spot was Red. At the back, Dietrich, the crumbs, Tiller. Almost. Did it beautifully. Robertson, a chip shot. Looked like a 9-iron. And just chipped away. Brilliant stuff. He's got goal 3. And goals coming like raindrops at the moment. 18-10, Torrens 7-8.
Well, North Adelaide once again, it doesn't matter where that ball is, they've got players, numbers, running numbers at the ball. And that quick kick came in. The ball came off hands. Tiller swooped on it. His way to goal was blocked. He turned back. He had a player moving through quickly in David Robertson. Couldn't handle the ball well, but the momentum kept it in front of him, snapped it up, and his third goal. Chance for North again. Here's Hart. Plenty of pressure by Taylor and Cunningham. Handball smothered. Colsey, well done to Cunningham. Nicely tackled. Johnston back to Colsey, and Torrens having to work hard for everything out there against an undaunting North Adelaide side. The attack on the body and the ball is tremendous. And they finally do work it clear. Great work. And clear it is to Campbell. He has a player short. The kick's in that direction. It's Antrobus. Wide out on the boundary line. Heads toward goal. The kick. Across the face. And one behind only. But once again, the running power of North Adelaide.
North Adelaide making football look so simple, as they have done right throughout the season. And as I mentioned, now 11 matches played, 11 wins for North Adelaide. Well, it was North's match from the outset today. 5 goals, then 8, then 6, and another 6 in the last quarter in a most impressive all-the-way brusher side of West Torrens. The 2 stars for North, Dietrich with 8 goals, and Tony Antrobus, who kicked 7 and was rated best of field. For Torrens, John Roberts kicked 5 goals and Johnston and Pays 3 goals each. And footy punt, a dividend there of $13.70. Well, as we all know, football's a pretty fickle game. A few weeks back, Glenelg was riding high. Its spot in the finals was a virtual formality, it so appeared, and the Tigers were rated a big premiership hope, along with teams like Norwood and North Adelaide. But how things can change. The Tigers went into today's match against Norwood with 4 losses in a row. In fact, their last win was against Woodville back on May the 11th. And on top of that, against Norwood today, they were without 4 key injured players. But the Tigers responded to the challenge magnificently. In fact, by half-time, they led by 19 points, and we're going to pick up the action in the thrilling last half. In fact, in the early stages of the third quarter, our commentators at the match, Roger Wills and Darryl Hicks.
Good one, too. A booming one looking for Carey, who's behind Hall. It's grand mark by Hall, considering the opposition from Carey.
It's been a good clash, both the big ruckmen using their body. Hall on top then.
Roberts in front. Strong arms of Neville Roberts.
It's interesting how you expect that to happen. You expect Roberts to break clear. Hall has played superbly in the first half.
Neville Roberts directly out, 35 metres. And the goal umpire this time hasn't moved. And an important goal to the Redlegs. They trail by 12 points, 2 minutes into the third term. Throw in at half forward for the Redlegs. They trail by 6 points. Murphy. Shot by McIntosh, wanting to bring in a teammate. That's Lachlan, forced to whip it over his shoulder. Strong mark to McGrath.
Superb mark. Strong body work in the back pocket by Salisbury, and McGrath shoots. He has 1.
That's his second. Scores a level, so Norwood have got themselves back to even Stevens at 9 minutes, third term. Norwood 11.3.69 to Glenelg 9.9.63. Hall comes back to him. Payne with dash. He gets the centre half forward. Stabs for Roberts. Hall's in the way. Comes back to Payne. Might get the free kick. He does. Frustration for Michael Murphy.
Well, no expression at all on the Norwood bench. It was almost as if it was expected, but Payne, he was the one who did the work. 3 touches, missed Roberts with the kick, but recovered, retrieved, and it was awarded the free.
Payne converts with his second goal, and the Redlegs are really on fire. They lead by 12 points, 14.5 minutes, third term.
David Payne attempting to find Roberts. Ball intercepts but fumbles. Payne turns inside and is run down by Michael Murphy.
Ball again. Scanlon picked it up brilliantly for Gallagher. Scanlon does a shepherd on Walsh. Strong mark in front by Salisbury. Half back out of side. Almost came back to Kernahan. Warhurst the crumbs. Norwood to centre half forward. Roberts could get a shepherd from Payne. He doesn't, but he doesn't need it yet. Can't pass to Fosdyke. Umpire will say throw it in. Right half forward for Norwood. Fosdyke and Roberts.
For Roberts just lacking the pace to get clear.
Stephen Kernahan against Button. Push out by the Redleg. And loud applause for the Glenelg free kick.
Kernahan on the ball. He's Corn's attempt to slow down the game and retrieve the situation.
Kernahan back towards the centre. Walsh keeps going. Elects to not even pick it up. Maynard. Back to Walsh, who's come down towards half forward. Whips it over his shoulder. That's the goal of the day. Inspirational stuff by Walsh. They needed it. Nell trails by 6 points, 16 minutes, third term.
Well done, Gavin Walsh. From half-back to Maynard. Ran on, overlapped. Too fast for Hall, straightened. And the half-back flanker, who began the season in the forwards, kicks his first.
Button. Gallagher only gave it to Walsh. Coughing. Blind turn out of trouble by Taylor's a good one. To Lachlan. Lachlan drives home. An answering goal by the Redlegs. His second since he came on in the third term. And so it's back to 12 points for Norwood.
Good spin turn by Michael Taylor to Peter Lachlan, given too much room, and onto the natural leg, his second, and what an influence it exerted in the third quarter.
Kernahan wins it again. But Gallagher to Rice, so Norwood stream forward. It's meant for Michael Annie, taken by Duthie, under plenty of pressure. Throw it in. And the applause by the Norwood supporters for fine play by Michael Annie.
It's good running, hard play by the big man.
Man from behind was Murphy. Only finds McIntosh. Gets a strong shepherd too. Start from the goals. Roberts down. Roberts in the goal square. Spins it back to Lachlan, but Walsh is in the way. Walsh heads for the boundary line, and also Hall. That's confidence from Hall. To Duthie, he'll have to hurry. Comes to David Kernahan. Back to Duthie. He's still going. We'll take the free kick. Well played by Chris Duthie. That is sterling stuff.
That's a tremendous continuous play as he ran to the half-back line.
Puts his side towards the centre. From the side is Hines. Norwood by 12 points. To the centre for Thomas. You'll have to hurry. McDermott got there. To Cobbing. To McGuinness. McGuinness will use his pace. He's chased by Rod. He's at centre half forward. And he's online. Back to 6 points in favour of Norwood. This is a great term of
Well, Coach Corns may be saying something to him. It looked like a prayer, but his rover lifted with great pace, straightened, bounced clear onto the natural leg, and blasted the ball forward.
81 plays 75. This time Hine with that height advantage. Button winds up, leaves it for McIntosh. McIntosh working hard. How did he get out of that? Through all legs. Throw in forward pocket for Norwood. The Premiers lead by 6 points. And behind is Button. Can he get boot to ball? Brilliant individual effort by Neil Button. That's a sensational goal. And Norwood are back to 12 points. 21 minutes third term.
What a superb take from Button from behind. Now strength through the pack. Burst clear. On his own, the left foot. And it's his first goal.
Can Glenelg answer with another goal? Kernahan. Across to McDermott. McDermott to Alan Stringer. David Kernahan is under plenty of pressure. His teammate comes in. Was it too high? Crowd shouts, ball, holding the ball, and it goes against McDermott. Free kick to David Payne. Payne puts Norwood to half forward. Big punch from Stephen Kernahan. He's everywhere in the last 10 minutes or so, but it's McIntosh just away from centre. Copping. Harassing on the mark. Meanwhile, a player's got himself loose as Payne. Squares it across just out from the goal square. Salisbury's down for the Tigers. It's still in. And he did well to take it down into the pocket. Throw in with Norwood in attack.
The big full forward, Michael Annie, looking to the umpire for help. He was held down by 4.
Button again. Is it another individual effort? Holding a ball on this occasion.
Well, 1 out of 2 was worth the try.
Michael Murphy. Punch from Stephen Kernahan. Talbot eludes Gallagher. West from behind. Glenelg down through Maynard. Carey's got to wait. Ducks the head, doesn't need it to Gibbs. Gibbs is half forward. Will draw on his teammate. McGuinness. Is he online for a number 2 for the term? That's the countering goal from Glenelg. This is a grand game of football, and Norwood lead by 6 points.
Well, Glenelg got clear to the unattended Carey. He gave it away to Gibbs. Gibbs had a number of options. Decided to draw the opponent. McGuinness could have given. Decided to kick over the shoulder. And his second superb passage of play.
9 goals so far in the third term. Kernahan winds up again, but it's McIntosh. Loves to burst clear in the way of Glenelg. Kernahan's got another chance. Over the shoulder. So Stephen Kernahan, who's been dynamic in the last 10 minutes, finds a couple of players loose. It's Maynard. Seabourn. Applause from Tony McGuinness. And he had a close opponent in Kelly.
Yes, the pass was perfect. There's been a need for a change then. Barmer swapped Warhurst and Kelly, and Seabourn still leading them to the ball.
Long way out, but it's number 5 for John Seabourn, and scores a level almost in the time on third term. Carey came back to Hine at the call from Ross. Wait from McGuinness, also McIntosh. McIntosh skirting the boundary line. Tremendous football from McIntosh. Ross is not ready. He got a shepherd though, and a tackle from Kernahan. Must be in the back to McDermott. It's not. Came to the other number 10. Fosdyke, a long hand pass to Taylor in the centre. Roberts puts his opponent down. Wait on the umpire. No, the free kick has not gone to Glenelg. It surely wasn't in within 5 metres. And Neville Roberts earns the mark and the boos of the Glenelg supporters.
Well, I tend to agree with the umpire. It was a bump rather than a shepherd.
Roberts to put his side back in the lead. He doesn't miss many from there. He hasn't. Number 2 to the Redleg captain. And the Redlegs by 6 points.
There's McIntosh. Unfortunately, Ross had turned the back. No free given. Watch this superb hand pass from Fosdyke. 20 metres setting up Taylor, and that's why Norwood went clear. Now Roberts, quick use of the body, I think from the side, and Norwood are in.
And Norwood by 6 points towards three-quarter time. Fosdyke again with dash. He's got confidence in his pace. Push out by Lachlan on Walsh. Wayne Stringer the tackler. And the free kick has gone to Lachlan.
Well, 2 incidents of beautiful bumping from Norwood. First Roberts, then Lachlan. Unbalanced their opponents.
Lachlan has 3, but I think he's too far out to score. He's going to get a bit of extra meterage here. He might be lining up for number 3. It's very close. I think it might be a goal. It is. And suddenly Norwood are back to 12 points. 27 and a half minutes. Third term. McGuinness has got himself behind, although Hall's doing the individual effort. He scoops it out and holding the ball against Hall, who removes the mouth guard.
Well, umpire Marta proved his courage. A free to Kernahan right in front. And that's a decision that will be remembered.
Fosdyke having a quiet chat to Stephen Kernahan. Kernahan's not put off, and that's the goal that the Tigers won at the start of the final term. They trail by 6 points. Kernahan kicks his first 4 minutes into the final term. Hall. McDermott, who does the roving. Kernahan. Copping. He's really fired up. Went on the umpire, holding the ball. Umpires have been very hot on this ruling. 15 metres given away by Stephen Copping.
Well, umpire Schofield had to give that free to support his umpiring mate, who gave a free against John Hall.
Scanlon puts Norwood to centre half forward. Big pack of players. McIntosh going to kick a goal. No, he hasn't. He almost ends up over the behind line. That's the enthusiasm of Gary McIntosh. Norwood by 7 points.
And both teams are demanding an effort to win this game as McDermott clears the pack with a kick in from Hall.
McDermott. Good disposal to Walsh. Glenelg players wanted to move it quickly. Gibbs winds up. He slipped initially. He's in the centre. Turns round back towards half forward. Player loses Maynard. Hands up from Copping. Kernahan's there also. Kernahan!
Well, he was out of position prior to leaping. A quick movement and the high fly. 2 grabs, and the champion can even the score. That's the replay. 2 grabs, but eyes on the ball.
Number 2 for Kernahan, and 2 points Glenelg trail by. We're 8.5 minutes into the final term. Good lead from McFarlane. Doozy and Shepherd from McGuinness. McGuinness lurking for that hand pass.
Fosdyke's in trouble with a leg injury.
They come from everywhere. McDermott, man in front. McIntosh. McIntosh chased by McGuinness. Coolness to Winter. We're on the wing. Good strong mark. Is it awarded? Awarded to Taylor.
Out on the full.
No, out on the full, thank you. And the free kick to Doozy. Winter. Brilliant play from Winter. Mike Lanny. Half forward, Mike Lanny. Roberts. Battling with Hall. It's on the ground and it's there! And Norwood are back in front by 3 points. 13 minutes, final term. Number 3 to Neville Roberts. 2 5s. Carey looked to be held. Carey to McDermott. Kernahan biding his time on Warhurst. Norwood have plenty of players. It's Gallagher. Murphy, his name written all over that one, is marked on the outer wing. From the side is David Kernahan. Gives Thomas a chance. Warhurst, Ross. McFarlane comes down at the ground. Call from Lachlan. Lachlan's at half back. He's deceptive in pace. Umpire says play on. Norwood have all the numbers. Was it a throw? McIntosh has to throw it back to Kernahan. Leading down the ground is brother David. He's at centre half forward.
It's all calm in the Glenelg forward line. Seabone leads.
And Gibbs drops down. Plays on too. He's got confidence. It's going to swing across. It's all the crowd wants. The Glenelg supporters, 2 points in favour of Norwood.
Well, the game's got everything. Just that little bit needed now as each player tries to lift.
Carey brilliantly down to Duthie. They wind up towards the centre. The bounce is important. Winters caught. Wait on the umpire. Strong tackle by David Kernahan. Carey trying to create. David Kernahan switching. Copping looks behind to see Scanlon. Scanlon takes the mark.
And he's played Copping close with the body. Just got that little bit of extra size to give him the advantage.
Lachlan almost recovers. Interception from McDermott. Kicked back by Stringer. Flyer in the middle is West. Down is Maynard. Maynard to David Kernahan. He'll have to kick it quickly. Motlop's come down the ground. Goes to centre half forward. Winds up this time. Is he online? Yes, he is! The roof comes off the grandstand. Glenelg lead by 5 points. 19 minutes. Final turn.
Been 6 goals kicked in this, the final. They're into time on, and it's as tight as it can be.
And punch from Murphy. Murphy again. Didn't go very far. Lachlan drives it to the pocket. Who's behind? Duthie. Duthie drives it back towards the wing. Warhurst. That's the hand pass. He's forced to kick loose. Gallagher's down at half forward. To run into the pocket. Squares it across for his teammate and Michael Annie. Elliott on the forward line now. Running down is Salisbury. Salisbury to Hall. Hall gets a good bounce and slams it back to half back. Umpire says in the back. Free kick to Maynard. Maynard will put it almost to half forward. Stephen Kernahan, but the man in the middle of the pack is Warhurst. Norwood back towards centre half forward. Good strong mark by Murphy.
Superior pace.
More mobile.
15-metre penalty.
And Glenelg by 12 points to go further forward. We're a minute into time on. Murphy towards the pocket and Seabone. The man with the pace is McGuinness. Skips it up brilliantly. He's kicked a magnificent goal. And that is surely it. McGuinness has kicked 3 goals. And Glenelg lead by 18 points. 26 and a half minutes, final turn.
Yes, you'd swear they'd won a premiership down there at Glenelg, and who knows, maybe they will this year. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Glenelg led by 19 points at half-time. They then forfeited that lead in the third quarter to trail by 2 goals at three-quarter time, but then raced away with 6 goals to 1 in that fantastic last quarter. For Glenelg, Seabohm kicked 5 goals, West and Kernahan 4 each, and McGuinness 3, and for Norwood, Lachlan and Roberts 3 each, Aish, Thomas, Payne and McGrath 2 each, and footy punt a dividend of $3.50. Well, after 4 losses on the trot, Glenelg coach Graham Corns must have been a relieved man to end that run today. After the match, he spoke with Roger Wills.
Graham, what a way to end the slump, beating the Premiers.
Well, any win would have been good to end the slump, but yeah, it was a very pleasing effort because it was a very good game of football and they played very well. And they had a few walking wounded towards the end, and I guess that allowed us to take advantage of that.
It just highlights the closeness of the competition, doesn't it?
Yes, you become more and more amazed as the season goes on that apart from North Adelaide, the rest of them really are locked in fairly close battle. And it's not unusual for the bottom team like South Adelaide to knock off one of the top teams. And I think this year more than any, it's as even as I've ever seen it.
Well, it was a seesawing contest. What do you think were the key factors in the Tigers' success?
We really did hit through the ball better today than we had, and I think we were a lot more confident in our own ability today. We settled the team down fairly early in the week, and everyone really knew what their responsibility and their job was going to be. And we were lucky today, of course, with injuries. We didn't get any, but we had a good figurehead, or a couple of good figureheads in the forward lines with Seabohm, West and Stephen Kernahan, and good penetration across the centre, and Maynard, McDermott and McGuinness played very well on the ball. And of course, right at the end when we needed a lift, young Motlop came on and really split the field with his pace running into the forward line. So we had some good players all around.
I was going to make that comment. You have a lot of injuries, but the use of McFarlane and Motlop obviously shows you've got depth and you've got versatility.
Well, I think we still have. We were a little bit embarrassed at the start of the year because we had so many good players and we had a lot of good players playing in the reserves. And nobody likes to get injuries to players like Marshall and Simons and Henwood and of course there's others that I'd forget for the moment. But what it does do is allow you to give some of these lads who are playing very well in the reserves an opportunity. And the classic example is Tony Hall and Mike Murphy, who've done nothing wrong, and James West, have done nothing wrong at league level when they've been there before, but the pressure of the good players we've had has kept them out. So and we looked at the team on paper before the game and said, that looks a very good team to me, and those players who came up, they deserved their opportunity and they played well.
You mentioned confidence, and the side has been in the slump. You've played football, you've been involved for a long, long time now. Is there any, I suppose it's the $64 question, how have you approached it?
Well, it's difficult because when you're playing well, you're loath to change because you don't want to do anything differently. Well, all of a sudden one day you lose, and you think, well, all right, you're going to lose one. When you lose 2, 3 and 4, you've got a lot more pressure on you with each ensuing loss. But what it does do is it causes you to examine a lot more closely the team's efforts, both as individuals and the team. And of course, it makes you look very closely at your own performance. And I haven't had a lot of success in pulling teams out of slumps when I was at South Adelaide. And it just really makes you look at what you're doing in ways that you can improve team performance. I don't think it's a bad thing if the slump comes at the right time of the year because it gets you back on the right track pretty quickly.
Graham Corns speaking there with Roger Wills, and Graham Corns once again can afford to smile. Let's have a look at the other 2 results then of the matches played today. First, the match at Unley, where Sturt registered their 6th win of the season. Sturt, in fact, trailing at half-time, but in the second half they kicked 12 goals 2 to Port's 6 goals 8. As they say, straight kicking's good football to win by 23 points. Wilmot kicked 6 goals for Sturt, Motley 4 and Hollis 3. And for Port, Russell and Evans kicked 4 goals each. Footy punt, a dividend of $2.95. And at Woodville, Central District, back in the winning list. Central led all day, in fact. 14 goals kicked in the first quarter between them. And then when Central led by 12 points at quarter time, they kicked on to increase it by 13 points at half-time, 42 at three-quarter time, and Woodville reduced that to 31 points at the final margin. For Central, Platten kicked 6 goals, Van Dommel, Graham and Fraser kicked 3 goals each, and for Woodville, Blight, Fuller and Harris each kicked 3 goals. Footy punt, $3.25. The Premiership ladder then after 11 rounds, and 5 teams clearly making up the top 5 now, the others starting to tag a little bit. North, a break of 3.5 wins, or 3 wins and 1 draw over Norwood. Norwood second by a game over Sturt, who moved up to 3rd place. Glenelg live again, move up to 4th. Torrens dropped to 5th, 1 game outside Central. West and Port both 2 games outside the 5. Woodville and South starting to lose ground. The leading goal kickers then, Blight of Woodville kicked 3 goals today, a total of 66. Wilmot, who really has made a big impression on league football, 6 goals for a total of 51. Roberts, 5 goals for 48. And then the list goes down. Dietrich, who kicked 8 today, a total of 46. Copping, 1 for 43. And Beecroft, 2 for 41. Well, Darryl Hicks once again with me in the studio. Darryl, you had the pleasure of going down to Brighton Road today. What a fantastic match.
Well, it was, and congratulations to Coach Corns. He was under pressure, as he admitted, and I think Carey and McGuinness were the big difference. They played superbly. McGuinness gave them that little bit of run, and Corns made 1 or 2 changes, Copping into the centre at the beginning of the game, John Seabone to full forward, and he is a fast-leading aggressor. I know him best as a centre-half back or back pocket player, but that was the difference, just that little bit of enthusiasm and excitement that they needed.
What about Peter Carey? They've been missing him over recent weeks. Did he show any signs of lack of fitness or of that injury today?
No, well, he's superb. He's super at not showing any signs. I don't think he's ever fit to look at, but he certainly clashed with...
Ungainly, I suppose you'd say.
He does, and he had some superb clashes with Neil Button. You could almost feel it from the boundary. But Super played well, and of course he gives, as captain of the club and as experienced, his percentage game, his structure is so good. He drops back into defence, he takes the mark, he taps on, and his game was superb, as was Gary McIntosh's in the centre. I think McIntosh was perhaps best on ground, even though Kernahan, I would say, was best for Glenelg.
Well, Glenelg obviously looking like $1 million early in the season, and the form dropped for various reasons. They're on the way back. They must be premiership hopes again.
Well, those two sides play very exciting football. I think that by the major round they'll contest North Adelaide favourably, and it's not all over yet.
Well, you mentioned North Adelaide. They've become virtually unstoppable today. It was against Torrens, who are lying 3rd on the ladder, but 68 points the margin.
Well, today Mike Noonan's been heard to talk about the multiplier effect, and when you've got too many good players in the team, Mike talked about how it's best to play Riley in defence so you could gradually build a Jarman and put him into centre, and he said, having done that, the multiplier effect occurred. And that's an economics term from Michael. But it has happened, hasn't it? When things are running for you. And I think we expected that Redden, if he could dominate the ruck, they had so many superb running players, North Adelaide, and they're so confident. But Torrens now have to take stock. They have come back after a loss in the past, and for Glenn Elliott, next week is a critical game for them, so they have to do it again in 7 days' time. And,
of course, let's not forget Sturt. They're moving right up the ladder. They've now had, 5 wins, 1 draw, and just 1 loss in the last 7 games. So a fantastic competition, and we're right on the halfway mark now, so a very interesting 11 rounds to come before the finals.